Hey, so first of all, happy birthday from me. I would make some video of lots of people you know and like here, but there are exactly zero of those except me, so maybe there's one. But I hope you saw I got all of the kindergarten kids to say happy birthday to you, which was totally adorable watching them try to figure out how I I pronounced your name for them, and then they were repeating it over and over, like, what are these sounds? What? Happy birthday, we have heard. Galia? It was excellent. So last few days. Oh, I'll post pictures of them, I'm sure. My kindy kids, my pandas, we got postcards from, I've gotten postcards from some friends, and I hung them up in the classroom, and they love postcards. So I said we could get more postcards, but we have to write postcards, and then we will get mail. And they were like, oh, we can write postcards? So we're going to write postcards. Today we started writing postcards to Jody teacher, and they were just adorable. One of my kids started his to Jody teacher. I like you very much. Do you like me? And I was just like, oh, baby. And another kid, I will post pictures in my class 9 they did their favorite people writing, and so one of her favorite people was me, which was super cute. But it was like, what did she say? First of all, she spelled my name Tarmar, which a lot of them do, and I'm just like, Tarmar? No. It's just the sounds that you hear, like, it's very phonetic. No. And then what did she say? She put a big blank. She is blank years old. I was like, I will fill in the blank for you. And then for fun, apparently I like to talk to the other teachers, which, I mean, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. And the picture of me was adorable. Some of the others were actually hysterical. Okay, so Wednesday. So I joined meetup.com. Actually, first let me tell you what a visa run is, because that'll be shorter. So my visa is a 13-month multiple entry visa. That means bare minimum I can stay here for 13 months and I can come in and out as much as I need, meaning I can go on vacation. Now, a tourist visa to most places, for American passports anyway, and for most people really, is either 30 days or 90 days. That's standard, and it's usually, it's a tourist visa, so you don't need to do a whole lot of paperwork for it. You just go in and you can stay for up to 30 or 90 days. And when you go in, you need to present your exit ticket. You need to say, I'm here for this amount of time, and here's the date I'll be leaving. And here's proof of that. Now, some people choose to work in a country, but it's not visa providing work. So my couch surfer, for example, was working in a hostel, and they don't provide a visa for that. Also, if I were in Vietnam, I don't think they provide a visa for teachers, not like Korea. And so every 90 days, you need to leave the country for sometimes a weekend, sometimes a week, however long they say it has to be between re-entries. So a visa run is where you leave in your primary country of residence, I guess, with intent to return so that it refreshes your 3-month visa period. So that's a visa. But you can say, Anna teacher said, oh, my friend Kate's coming for a visa run. She'll just be here for the weekend. So, like, the point isn't to go visit another country, although it's nice to get a short visit in. The point is just to refresh your visa. Oh, that took a long time. It's 4.5 minutes. This is going to be a long one. So Wednesday, I joined meetup.com because, intending to join some groups and meet some more people and have activities, etc. So one of them was a learn Korean through board games thing. The idea being, so language exchanges are common, where Koreans will go and English speakers will go, or other languages, and you teach them some English and they teach you some Korean. And it's a fair exchange. You buy coffee so that you're sponsoring the cafe a bit that you're staying at. Fine. This one was a language exchange while you play board games. So I guess you learn the language around board games. It sounded like a great thing. It was more than an hour away, but I was also trying to find where the nerds gather in this city, and that seemed to be maybe a place that nerds gather. So I was like, fine, I could travel an hour for nerds. So it was more than an hour between walking to the subway, waiting for the subway, etc. I get there, and then I'm following the directions to get there, but it was basically just an address. It was like, here's the station, here's the address, good luck. So I wandered around lost for a while. It turns out it's in a very residential area, and it's just like the basement of this apartment building, which is not, that part isn't creepy. Like, it's a store down there, a board game, like, hangout space. You can go and buy games and play games, and there's also a cafe, and it seemed nice. I don't remember what it was called, something with a D. And so I'm late because it started at 7 or 7:30. I think it started at 7, and I'd work until 6:30, so I didn't get there till like 7:45 or 8. And I'm looking around, and there are exactly 2 other people. I get there, and I'm like, I mean, I know I'm in the right place because the odds of me accidentally wandering in somewhere with this many board games is slim, but 2 people. It turned out that on meetups.com, you can like create an event and then say, repeat this event every month or every week. And then you don't mess with it. So when I RSVP'd, I was the only person who RSVP'd, but I figured like, oh, people go and they just didn't RSVP or whatever. No. It was just me and the guy. He was like, yeah, people haven't come in a few months. I was like, maybe you should close the site or close the page. So he said he would do that in the future. But then, of course, I'm there, so I'm not going to turn around and go home. It's fucking freezing. So we played a game called Lost City or Lost Cities, I don't remember, which was actually really easy to learn. And I think he might have been letting me win because, I mean, I absolutely walloped him. Like, we're talking 30 points to 6 points or something. Twice. And then I ended up teaching him a fair bit about English while he tried to teach me some Korean, which I think is the to be verb, but it's like, it's complicated and it involves knowing how a word is spelled because words are spelled with syllables, and the syllables are done in boxes, and if it only ever fills the top, whatever. It was, and after like, and he's not a good teacher, and after like 20 minutes of this, he goes, but this is actually really difficult, and as a foreigner, you don't need to worry about that. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You just spent 20 minutes telling me nothing. So then, in the end, I ended up leaving, and I went back, and I'm never going back there. And then knitting on Sunday. So I get to the Starbucks. It's, around the corner from the subway station, exactly where they said it would be. I have my knitting. I sort of not so surreptitiously walk around the entire store looking for other yarny people. And I am late, so like they should be started. No yarn. And then I put my stuff down and get a drink and wait for the drink and get the drink and then do another sort of circuit of the store with my drink. Still no yarny people. But whatever. I'm in a coffee shop. I have knitting, so I sit there and knit. Well, after about half an hour of this woman comes up to me and says, oh, are you here for the knitters? I said, yeah, but it turns out I'm the only one today. It's my first time. She, I guess, fails to hear that it's my first time. Whatever. Over the course of the next 45 minutes, I established that she had learned to crochet as a child with her grandmother. And now she wants to re-pick up those skills. But A, she's talking to a knitter. And B, she showed up carrying a circular knitting needle. So I assumed that she wanted to learn how to knit. By the end, it turns out that was not the case. And of course she says, like, oh, I didn't have time to go to the yarn store. Do you happen to have any yarn I can use? I was like, no. I said it politely. I said, like, oh, all of my yarn is involved in projects, and then didn't say, plus it's mine, and I paid way more for it than no. Just no. So that was that. But then, of course, she wanted to learn how to make a beginner object, and she picked, like, a door hanger, which is, I guess, in crochet might be a beginner project, but I'm still thinking she wants to knit. So I'm like, no, you need to start with a hat. And I spent about 45 minutes talking her through how to find the resources to knit a hat. I'm like, well, you measure your head and you knit a bit for a gauge swatch and you check YouTube, just YouTube, all the YouTube. So that was also a wash. But Tasha joins this group sometimes on their excursions called like Soul Expats. So we're going skiing together next Saturday the 23rd with this group. So that should be nice. I've now almost more than doubled the expected video time. So I'm going to peace out now and post this. Love you. Bye.